All right, Libra folks, let's see what Libra season has in store for you guys. Now, you do have an eclipse happening in your sign. It happens at 10 degrees on October 2nd. This is a solar eclipse, so that is a new moon. It is a new beginning. However, it is a south node eclipse, which is a release. It's a letting go. This is very similar to the one that happened in October of last year on October 14th. But at a different degree, so it's going to hit different planets if you have planets near that 10 degree mark in your chart. Basically, what we're doing here is it's a beginning of an end. So it's a beginning of letting go of people pleasing, letting go of playing devil's advocate, letting go of giving up yourself for others, or like having your identity wrapped up in what others think of you or how others feel about you or the relationships or friendships that you're in, and instead getting that identity back to yourself. I know I ride Libras a little harder than I do some of the other signs, and it's probably because I attract a lot of Libras, and I really enjoy being around Libra energy. However, there's that like almost a mask type of energy. The sun is in its fall in Libra. It does not like to be there because the sun wants to shine as an individual, whereas Libra is the sign of interpersonal relationships or one-on-one interactions with others. So a lot of times there is this tendency to try to find your vitality by creating balance around you rather than creating the balance within yourself. And this is why a lot of Libra energy struggles with that. So when we go through Libra season and we get into this eclipse that's coming up, really pay attention to what people or friends, even family, whoever it is that's like closest to you, your relationships, that you really need to let go of. Where are you giving up yourself for others during Libra season that you need to let go of? Where are you always playing devil's advocate because you feel like you can't just speak your mind? There is this real push right now for everybody across the board to find their voice and speak their mind, say what they need, what they want, and have those good, strong boundaries. So let's get into the cards here and see. Oh, and Venus actually moves into Scorpio the day after Libra season begins. So Sunday, we're going to have the sun enter Libra early Monday morning, or maybe overnight Sunday. Venus will move into Scorpio where she's in her detriment, and things become quite a bit intense there as well. So let's pull you guys some cards. What can Libra expect for Libra season as a whole? Well, looky there, we got Six of Wands. This is actually the second time I've come up with Six of Wands for people that are having difficult transits. So let's see what else we get here. What's something unexpected? If overall we've got this victory type of energy, you maybe since the last eclipse, have been letting go of things. You have been finding your voice more. You have been finding that balance in yourself, and you're starting to see where you are like victorious in your life because of that. Something unexpected, we have Four of Pentacles and Nine of Cups. So Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment, whereas Four of Pentacles is more about keeping things to yourself. It's almost like something really good happens, but it's something that you feel like you can't share. It's something you feel like you have to keep to yourself. Maybe it's because you don't trust the people around you or something along those lines. But things are starting to unfold for you, maybe for standing up for yourself. Saturn is your exalted planet, and Saturn is retrograde in Pisces. So having good boundaries right now, and really, especially mentally, emotionally, with your intuition, making sure you're listening to your intuition and moving forward based on that intuition, that's really bringing some rewards. It's difficult, it's hard. People around you definitely push back when you start doing that, especially if they're not used to you doing that. But it does bring so many rewards, and then you start to see this very victorious type of energy once you get through that difficult stage of it. And you guys have been in it for a while with the South Node in your sign. So, and we're getting pretty near the end of that. We're a few months away from the end of that. So there's this finding yourself, finding your voice that is bringing about this kind of reward type of energy and this victorious energy. Okay, how to stay grounded. How can Libra stay grounded during Libra season? Got Page of Cups. So if you are finding your boundaries and you are speaking up for yourself and you are cutting people off, that doesn't mean that you have to go completely hard, right? You can still be kind, you can still be giving, you can still be loving while still having good boundaries. So make sure that you're not like completely shutting down, you're not shutting everybody off around you, and that you are still being a kind human being. You are being empathetic and understanding and compassionate with others. But that doesn't mean that you have to let go of those boundaries either, okay? So it is about finding a balance, but it's about finding that balance within and finding where you are happiest with yourself, okay? An important emotion for Libra during Libra season. Maybe, maybe not. There we go. Oh, we got two. We have the Hierophant and the Five of Pentacles. Again, this is really standing that ground energy that kind of leaves you feeling left out in the cold. When you are standing in your own stability, you are listening to your beliefs, you are leaning into your spirituality and listening to your intuition, and you're doing the things that are right for you, a lot of times that can leave you feeling very left out and cold. It can make you feel alone and depressed. And this is an emotion that you have to feel, right? So that's the biggest thing, is making sure that you are feeling your feelings, putting names to them, understanding why you feel that way, where it came from, how you got there, so that you can work through it and move to the other side of it. So if you are finding yourself, really standing in your beliefs and your belief systems, and it is feeling like people are kind of walking away from you because of it, make sure you sit with that and you understand why that is. Make sure that you're understanding, are they walking away because they're so used to you people pleasing? Are they walking away from it because you have too strong of boundaries? Because sometimes when we have no boundaries and then we go to having them, we build them so large that nobody can get through them, right? So really sit with that and understand why you're feeling the way you're feeling and why maybe you are starting to feel a little more lonely and left out, okay? Something that will inspire. Something that will inspire Libra during Libra season. Knight of Swords, speaking up for yourself, saying what you gotta say. You may find people pushing back on you with the South Node in your sign, and that letting go type of energy, and especially letting go of the people pleasing that people are so used to you having. Standing up for yourself and having your voice, arguing if you gotta argue, no longer playing that devil's advocate, no longer trying to be the mediator, and just saying what you need to say. I always encourage people that have their sun in Libra to embrace the idea of justice rather than balance in the world outside of you, and finding your voice and standing up for what is right, standing up for your beliefs, and projecting out that justice in order to find that balance inside of you. Because your sun is your vitality, and the sign that it is in feeds that vitality. Oftentimes, for Libra suns, it ends up being within their relationships that they try to find the vitality rather than finding it within themselves. And they just always feel stuck, okay? But finding it within yourself, the balance within yourself, and projecting out the more justice-oriented nature of Libra by speaking up, by using your words, by arguing where you need to argue, and standing on your beliefs, and making sure that you're listening to your intuition as well, and speaking what you have to speak, that is going to lead to a lot of inspiration. It's going to give you a sense of pride and help you to move forward as your individual self rather than somebody who's just part of a friendship or part of a relationship or part of a partnership, okay? Spirit guides speaking to you. How are spirit guides speaking to Libra during Libra season? Oh, we got a whole handful here. We've got 2 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, and 10 of Wands. So this is about work, okay? This is about finding balance within your work. It's maybe you're feeling things are feeling very heavy. It might get to where things just feel like too much for you, and you've got to go back and reassess a little bit. So Jupiter is going to station retrograde in Gemini. That is in like a wide open door to Libra energy. And when it stations retrograde, it's really going to have you reviewing some of your ideas, your thoughts, conversations that you've had. And you may need to go back to the drawing board on some things because things are so heavy and you feel like you're constantly having to like play this balancing act rather than actually getting anything done or moving forward on anything. So when you start feeling like things are too much or you're always kind of juggling stuff, stop for a minute and think where you need to make some reassessments, where you need to make some changes to be able to actually make progress rather than being stuck in that stagnant balancing act, juggling act that you have going on. How to best support yourself. Ooh. We have the World. Now, hold on, I can't hold on to these. The World card here is looking at these 3. So what that is telling me is if you're always playing the in-between person, you're always playing that one that everybody comes to be the mediator. You're always feeling like you're always in this like balancing act of trying to take care of everything. And it's just getting so heavy and so tiring and so exhausting. It is time to close that cycle. Pluto will station direct during Libra season in Capricorn. This is that cycle that we're closing out. It's the 16-year cycle that started in 2008. All of that doing things the right way and hustle culture and always having to be busy and authority having control over every moment of your life, all of that stuff is ending. And we need to make sure that we're letting go of it. We're not clinging to it before, so that you can move into the next cycle in a better space, right? The more you try to cling on to that stuff and hold on to that stuff, the more the universe is going to come along and rip it from your hands, okay? So it's more often than not it's better to take it upon yourself to end the things that are clearly weighing you down, the things that are making your life more difficult than it has to be. We were not created to spend our whole lives hustling ourselves to death just to keep the bills paid, okay? So there is more to life than that. There is more to life than making sure that everybody else around you is happy. There's more to life than being everyone else's caretaker. You're here for a purpose. And finding your purpose as an individual is what's going to help you move forward and help you help others, okay? Bottom of the deck here is Ace of Wands. So there is like this underlying inspiration here. Whatever this victory overall energy is, it's being pushed by this this new fire, this new energy, this new inspiration. And while it is hard because others around you are so used to you being there for them all the time and talking to them all the time and being their mediator all the time, and you start pushing back and they're not real fond of that, you get the pushback. It's difficult, but at the same time you start finding yourself, and that feels very victorious to be able to find yourself. Okay. Do some clarifiers on our Six of Wands here. We've got another Ace of Wands. So there's that, again, that inspiration, that newfound drive an energy that you're finding in yourself. And another Knight of Swords, that speaking up for yourself, that arguing where you need to argue, making sure that you are being clear as day about your boundaries, about your needs, your desires, your wants, and making sure that you're speaking up for what inspires you, right? And let's get one more here. We've got King of Swords, and Libra is air energy. Libra is sword energy. This is all about standing your ground, speaking your words, using your voice, and being who you are, and protecting what you're building for yourself, okay? And we got Queen of Swords on the bottom as well. So Libra does have, I actually really like this. King of Swords is that both of these are actually very kind of feisty energy, but they're also very kind and caring energy at the same time. It's being kind, being helpful, being compassionate, being understanding, while also not mincing words, right? It's about being honest and being blunt, but also not being a jerk about it as well. So really make sure that, yes, you can stand up for yourself and say what you need and say what you want without being an asshole, but you still need to stand up for yourself, okay? Even if the words you say are going to hurt somebody, it's better to hurt somebody with the truth than it is to make them wonder why you're hurting them because you're afraid to say the truth, or to lie to them and let them find out that they've been lied to. It is best to just be honest and use your words and say what you need and what you want and how you feel. Okay, what is influencing the Libra season for Libras? I don't use this deck very often, so I don't know why. Influencing Libra season. So we have third harvest. Let's see here. Let's read this guy. Daughters of the woods, feel thy sacred swell with suppleness. Suppleness. Taste the gathering of honey's milk, filling your emptiness. Let me, because I don't use this deck very often. I'm going to read the book here. Get a better understanding. Okay. Though winters might be harsh and gathering up your food is hard work, there is a feeling of abundance and pride in getting prepared. Imagine looking at your food stores and seeing a physical representation of your work. Imagine seeing the abundant rewards of planting your seeds and nourishing them as they grow. We're lucky that we no longer have to face those conditions in the modern world. Perhaps that is why the overall idea of preparation is no longer important to us. Okay, you're being guided to gather up your accomplishments, to celebrate your wins. Take a look at everything you've done and achieved. Make a store of these wins to come back to whenever you're feeling low or like you've failed. The easiest way to attract more abundance is to feel abundant. Having this stockpile of feel-good moments will kickstart you and help turn around feelings or lack or stagnation. That really goes with this, right? So celebrating the wins, even when there's kind of some icky, like this being cast out, feeling lost, feeling out, out in the cold type of energy. Even when that's in place, there's still those victories. So don't get lost in this kind of sadness. Don't get lost in this stagnation of always juggling, or don't get weighed down in the heaviness that's trying to pull you down. Take note of the things that are going right so that you don't get lost in the things that are going wrong. Now, it doesn't mean don't acknowledge them. Again, this is an important emotion. You have to face it. You have to deal with it. But don't get lost in it, basically. The advice. What is the advice for Libra season? Maybe, maybe not. So I'm not going to give us any advice at all. I think this is the longest one I've made so far. There we go. crystals and herbs. I'm going to read this one from the book too, if I can see. My goodness, I need new glasses. Okay. Pulling crystals and herbs is an invitation to find a deeper connection with earth energy. Mother Earth is calling you home, and that healing can be found within nature's language. The earth element represents grounding, connection, stability, and strength. Nature nourishes and supports you in all things on this planet. Behold the sacredness that is earth magic. You will feel more replenished as you develop your connection. Definitely make sure you're staying grounded. One thing about air signs is oftentimes you can kind of get lost in thought. So make sure that you are getting outside. You're putting your feet on the ground. You're getting some sun. And you're taking some time away from the things that are weighing you down to get grounded and not getting lost in your thought processes. Bottom here we have greet the darkness. Y'all are real good at trying to keep those scales on the light side rather than the dark side, but you are the sign that starts the fall equinox. This is the time where things start getting darker. Make sure that you are not avoiding that darkness, okay? You have to face it. You have to deal with it. You have to work through it. The overall vibe we're getting here is celebrate the wins, standing up for yourself, chasing your passions, arguing where you need to argue, finding the balance within rather than without, and embracing the idea of justice in the world around you rather than balance in the world around you. And just making sure you're ending the cycles that are weighing you down, but at the same time, don't shut down completely either.